Hello, I'm Claudia Bolaños, and here's my design challenge for Dr. Bannon's EDIT course. People consider math and art to be completely separate practices. But in reality, artists use math all the time without even realizing it. People learn basic geometry shapes when first learning how to draw. They use rulers to measure and determine precise angles in more advanced drawings, etc. This math-art overlap is especially obvious in architecture. Art is widely applicable as a tool of instruction and in a range of professional fields in education, government, military, science, medicine, and so on. Not to mention, it's also a fun and productive pastime for many people. For all those reasons, I think it's a great idea to use the widespread appeal and efficiency of art to teach something as important as math. My idea is a virtual roleplay app. The working title will be Do Da Vinci. The real Leonardo da Vinci was famous as both a mathematician and artist, often relying on his math skills to create his most famous works of art. The general knowledge domain will be math, interdisciplinary with some art and history. My reason for making this an app would be that allows more flexibility for adults to play at any time, anywhere, a la the asynchronous approach, which plays into theories of adult learning and distance learning. The ideal target audience would be adults already using math quite regularly in their daily lives. Da Vinci would keep fresh their memories of the more advanced math principles beyond the basics like adding, subtracting, and multiplying, dividing, plus fractions too. Because through everyday tasks like grocery shopping and keeping finances, most adults have a pretty clear grasp of those basic math concepts. However, geometry and other advanced principles are not so relevant to such everyday tasks. As a result, adults are more likely than kids to forget those advanced concepts due to no longer being in a regular Monday, Friday school schedule that repeatedly teaches these principles every day. For the types of adults who would use this, I envisioned, say, college students getting some math-focused degree like accounting and engineering, math teachers, or those who want to get a teaching license, for whom understanding the basic foundations of math is a requirement. And even outside of career reasons, even parents or just families as a whole could be a prime audience for Da Vinci. As I said earlier, adults are more prone to forget math due to a lack of practice, unless, again, they're pursuing a math-focused career. This is why many parents cannot directly help if their kids struggle with learning math. Da Vinci's focus is on geometry and measurement, the first advanced levels of math beyond the basics I mentioned earlier, and more importantly, it's also a precursor to algebra, which repeats those same two topics to a more advanced degree. By keeping up to date with what and how these children typically learn in school, families can better directly help their own children. The learning outcomes will be as follows. Apply understanding of math in completing real-world tasks, apply more advanced math concepts in creating art, and more importantly, to visually demonstrate an understanding of new math principles. This app would incorporate a behaviorist learning approach based on the findings of B.F. Skinner. Most of the learning exercises will consist of being presented with a goal to resolve with the skills and knowledge taught over the course of the game. Each exercise level is packed with tons of assistant resources, like scaffolds, as reference materials for learners at various stages of learning to refresh and aid themselves with while using the program. Upon completion, each task ends in automatic feedback, balancing constructive criticism and positive encouragement, serving as positive reinforcement to keep learners motivated. The app also aligns with several of Knoll's theories about adult learners, mainly that they're internally motivated to learn anything that helps fulfill their social roles, like I mentioned earlier about math focused jobs and helping children with math. I stated earlier how learning math with this game can help fulfill certain job roles and overall parenting roles too. In addition to the adult learning theories, Do Da Vinci is also based on the goal based scenario approach. Again, the activities in Do Da Vinci do involve presenting specific directions aimed to accomplish a specific goal, similar to B.F. Skinner's behaviors and theories. Levels of ascending difficulty when mirror the levels of progression historically in the Renaissance apprenticeship process. For most of the activities, the goal is to complete part of an unfinished artwork, like adding the final piece of a jigsaw puzzle. These activities will each be split into two segments. First, using geometry shapes to draw the main figures. Second, using measurements to connect those geometry shapes. This two-part activity will be repeated each time for a new partially finished painting, which is based on an actual work by the real Da Vinci, for you to complete. As the game progresses, the learner is given more and more detailed paintings with even more unfinished blank space to fill. And as each painting becomes more complex, the reference sections will contain more advanced math knowledge than before. Upon completing each painting, it will be displayed on the wall as part of a growing list of the player's finished works. After that phase, learners examine and write their feedback on other sketches, presumably drawn by other apprentices. This middle phase will be graded on participation alone. Upon completion, learners will progress the final activity. For this final activity, learners will complete the largest and most detailed painting, something like The Last Supper, in Do Da Vinci's lineup. When finished, the sketch will be added to that same growing list of previous paintings. At this, the learner will finally be rewarded with their own personal studio with the title of Master Genius of the Renaissance. Assessments will be done as virtual built-ins. The Da Vinci character will give his direct feedback on your performance. If learners fail the first time, they will have to redo their respective exercise before them until they get it right. If learners succeed, not only will they advance to the next level, but will also see the finished painting displayed on the wall, as part of the growing display list shown over the course of the game.